Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Cherrell. I'm the host of Let's Talk the Show. And I want to thank you guys. I'm the host of Let's Talk the Show, and this ain't a podcast. I want to thank you guys for tuning in with me this Tuesday. Like you guys do every Tuesday. I know I am late, you guys, because Instagram be hating on me, but we got a really great show for you guys. I know the title says light skin or dark skin, and we gonna talk about it. Everybody always talking about, I prefer light skin over dark skin over light skin. Even ladies say I prefer light skin over dark skin over light skin. We're gonna talk about that because we gotta discuss these preferences. But before we get into the show, you guys, make sure you go ahead and drop in my comment section something that you're grateful for. Before we go any further in the show, we always have to start off with something that we're grateful for. I am going to say that I am grateful. Lately, I've been grateful for mercy and grace. Today, I'm grateful for growth. That's what I'm grateful for today. So go ahead and drop in my comment section. I see you guys are joining. Drop in my comment section something that you guys are grateful for. Yeah, we got a lot. And if you guys have an opinion, like I said, this week you guys are also my co-hosts. So I'll be more than happy to bring you guys on the live. That means that you guys get to share your opinions. You won't just get to type them. You get to come on the show, join our live, and tell everybody how you're feeling. So go ahead and drop in my comment section something that you're grateful for. And in the meantime, while you guys are joining in, I'm going to go ahead and get my iPad set up and whatnot, because we're going to talk about this today. All this light skin versus dark skin. Better yet, you guys are joining in the comments. What do you guys prefer? Let's talk about that since we're talking about preferences. Wow. What do you guys prefer? Do you prefer light skin over dark skin? Fellas, do you like light skin women over dark skin women? Ladies, do you like dark skin over light skin men? I like them black, okay? As long as he black, got a little black in him, send them to me. I will say, though, in the past, I have preferred darker complexion men over myself. What did I just say? In the past, I have preferred dark skin men. Yo, what the heck? That's crazy. But yeah, so we're gonna get into it. You say I love my dark skinned men. Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna be dark skinned. See. Yo, we got a good shout. So let me dark skin for sure. So let me tell you guys. Let me tell you how, because if you guys have been following or saw today, and yesterday I promoted that today's episode was going to originally be about living in luxury and letting men be men. We're going to talk about that tomorrow with my special guest. But I don't know if you guys follow G-Mac Cash. He's a comedy rapper out of Detroit, and he posted a video of a girl roasting a guy. So the comment, I'm going to tell you exactly what it says. I don't like giving out no false information and shit, all right? So let me tell y'all what Dog said about dark-skinned women, and that's what sparked this. And this what sparked this episode. So give me 2 seconds. Let me pull it up. So G-Mac Cash posted a video of a girl roasting this guy, right? And the guy said dark-skinned girls cannot wear any color wigs like light skins. Like, that's when I saw that today, I was like, oh fuck, that's what the episode about to be about. So that's what tonight's episode is based on. The fact that some people feel like, you know, dark-skinned women can't wear certain colors or whatever. But we're going to really talk about preferences, because I usually hear, light skin versus dark skin. Let me tell you this. If your preference is rooted in anything other than, let me see, make sure I say this carefully, because a lot of you motherfuckers' preference low-key rooted in a little racism. It's a little colorist. If it's rooted in some type of stereotype, your shit might be rooted in a little racism. And this is what I mean. I don't date dark-skinned niggas because, I date dark-skinned niggas because they just way more protective than light-skinned men. It's like, my nigga, you've been conditioned to think that. Just like I will say in the last years, we've been conditioned to believe that lighter-skinned men are softer. You get what I'm saying? They softer than dark-skinned men. It's like, that's not the truth. That's just the way things are pushed out there. And that's just the way we're being conditioned to believe these things. And it's not true. Light-skinned men are no more, masculine, less of a protector than a dark-skinned man. Like, that's just not the truth. Light-skinned men are stuck up. That's your experience with light-skinned men. I know a bunch of light-skinned fellas that ain't stuck up. I know some dark skinned guys that won't look a bitch way. Fuck. Bitch, who is you? And that's just the truth. And that's why I'm like, we gotta be real. This is my thing. You have to be extremely mindful when you say you don't date a certain complexion person, because your preference may be rooted in some racism. To say that essentially it's really just a bunch of field niggas versus house niggas. That's really all this is. That's really what this is. House niggas and field niggas. That's all that is. So to say that I won't date a light-skinned man, like you just said that he's stuck up. Have you dated every light-skinned man? Do you know that? Do you know every light-skinned man? I know a bunch of people that are stuck up, and it has nothing to do with their complexion. I will say that because of social media, it has influenced the way that we view people of certain complexions. I will say that. I will be ignorant to say that society doesn't see darker skinned women a certain way, or lighter skinned men and women a certain way. That's foolish to say that. And we all know it's very clear when it comes to complexions, especially when it comes to the police. Is a very big issue that when you're darker, you're perceived to be more aggressive. When you're lighter complexion, white people perceive you closer to them, so you're not as aggressive. You're a little more acceptable, and that's the way society is. Hey, girl, but do not continue to feed into those stereotypes by saying things like light-skinned men are stuck up. You don't know every light-skinned man. You ain't dated every light-skinned man. You ain't befriended every light-skinned man. I don't know every light-skinned dude. And I can say from my experience, just in my experience, maybe they are a little more stuck up. But do I really believe light-skinned men? No. I've seen some dark-skinned men, like I said, that won't look a bitch way. That won't fuck. Okay? And you be like, okay, who the fuck this nigga is? I will say I've seen self-hate on both ends, though. I will say this. I'm not going to name his name. I think he's a model now. I'll say this. I used to go to OU. And if you went to OU, then you know exactly who I'm talking about, this dark-skinned guy. I mean, my man's is black. I got an Apple Watch on. Dog is black as fuck. I mean, black as fuck. And he made a comment to me, and I'm dark skinned. He made a comment to me in college, and I looked that nigga up, and I don't know what I said to him, but we must have got to going back and forth, because how dare you, as black as your ass is, how dare you make some type of comment to me? And his thing was he don't date dark skinned women. He doesn't. He got a thing with dark skinned women are like this. And I was like, but my nigga, I bet your mama dark skin, because I know your dad, one of them motherfuckers is dark skin, because baby, you ain't as black as you are without a dark skinned parent. And for you to say that, and you know 9 out of 10 they mamas be black, I was like, I know this nigga ain't. Man, let me tell you, for me, I find dark skinned women sexier than any women I've seen in my life. That's preference, my own preference. I think we should break away from the remnants of slavery. I think we can. You find them sexier than any women. You find dark-skinned women sexier. Why? Is it because of the complexion? Is it like the richness of the skin? I want to make sure I say this word right. I've been having a problem talking. Fetishing. If you guys know what I'm talking about, drop it in the comment section. I can't say it. Fetishing. You know what? You have a fetish. It's the skin tone. So maybe you have a fetish with dark-skinned women, and that's why you find them sexier. And then again, sexy is a matter of, I think things like that, sexy and things like that is a matter of, it's subjective. So it's per each person, and I will, and I'm going to have to agree with that. Thank you, Sade, because I can't say that word to save my last nerve. And I will be honest with you guys. Maybe I have a fetish for darker complexion men, because I love my complexion. And that's partly why I wanted to date a darker skinned man, because I love I grew up, and I'll say this. I know a lot of people have not had the luxury of growing up and being embraced by their bodies. I'm going to say that. And I tell people all the time, the older I become, the more I realize how rich in culture and in love my childhood was. It had a lot of trauma, but it was very rich in love and in culture. And when growing up, a lot of people in my family are darker complexion people. There are very few lighter complexion people in my family, 2 of which are my siblings. So I could probably count on my hand the lighter complexion people that I have in my family. They're just a lot of darker complexion. A lot of my uncles are darker complexion. My aunts, I don't have a light skinned aunt on my mother's side. They're all dark people. So growing up, I always heard, oh, your black self, your chocolate self. And I never, ever ever felt ashamed to be dark skinned. I never thought it was an issue until I got to middle school. I started noticing the difference that we were treated, and then high school I kind of recognized it. But I never grew up ashamed to be black. Being called your black ass this or your black ass that was just something that we said. It was never an insult. It was just like, shut your black ass up. Like, it was never a thing in my family because niggas was all black. Nigga, we all black. Like, we're black. So growing up, I never felt that. I grew up being embraced, having thick thighs, being bow-legged, and things like that. So when I got older and I realized that being dark-skinned was an issue or like it wasn't acceptable, it was kind of weird for me because I've grown up always being called black. Always being, your black ass this, your black ass that. Get your black ass up. And it was a weird kind of, growing up and see that. So now when I think about it, it's like I was surrounded by that type of love because my family is of a darker complexion. You know what I'm saying? And then I kind of do see the difference in families that have like more, maybe a good mix of 50-50 or siblings that are 50-50. But you got to be very careful when you come to saying why you don't like or don't date a certain complexion. A lot of that is rooted in racism. And just like I said that I grew up loving darker complexion and being embraced in my darker complexion, that influenced the complexion of men that I like. I like darker complexion men because I love my complexion. And maybe that is a, like she said, a fetishization. I can't say that word. Maybe that is a fetish with my own skin, and that's why I dated them. But to a degree, I don't see that as, for me, in my position, I don't see that as harmful because it's not like I'm excluding anyone. I haven't associated any type of stereotype with darker complexion men just because that's not why I like them. I like them because I like the richness of the skin, because I like the richness of my skin, and I want that duplicated. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think in my perspective that that's any type of harmful. But if you're saying I don't like dark skinned women because dark skinned chicks, they don't never look cute and they don't look cute in color wigs like Dog saying, you got an issue. If you saying dark skinned women are meaner, dark skinned women aren't cute, that's the big one. You're cute for a dark skinned girl. Like, you gotta recheck the reason you're saying these things. I attract dark skinned men, I'm attracted to them. It's something about how dark that me feel. Yeah, you know what? And just like Sade said, that's a fetish. We have a fetish because of the way things clash with their skin. And that's why I said you gotta, like, being attracted to one and being and preferring one over the other is a different thing. Like, I like light skinned men, I like dark skinned men, the same thing. I guess I do I prefer this complexion because of my complexion. You know what I'm saying? But I don't exclude light skinned men. Me saying I prefer dark skinned men does not mean I feel any type of way about light skinned men. Doesn't think I think they're less masculine. We got to be careful about these preferences because they're rooted in they have very deep roots, and sometimes they're hateful roots. When you're saying I prefer light-skinned chicks over dark-skinned, like whatever woman you like, but do not dislike another woman because of do not like a different woman of her complexion because of experiences and because of some type of perceived stereotype. Do not say I prefer light-skinned women because they nicer. I know some light-skinned bitches that is like, I don't talk to that nigga. It's stick up the ass, whatever you want to call them. Stop saying you prefer people because of some type of stereotype. That is rooted in some BS. Okay? Let me see here. That is a fetish. It's beautiful for me. Skin tones. Skin tones are beautiful. Super beautiful. But we got to get out of that. Dang, I went too far off with that dang on story. Let me get back here. Okay. When you make a preference, make sure that it's rooted in simply what you prefer and there's no hatred towards the other one. I prefer dark-skinned men just because I love my skin. I want to date a man with this skin. That's it. Doesn't mean if I see a light-skinned brother, will I date him? Absolutely. If you're nice, you're kind, you're compassionate, why not? You got the fair chance. And I think you're attractive, obviously. I don't think any complexion is more attractive. Has more attractive people than the other one. That's rooted in some bullshit. And for people out there saying that light skin versus dark skin, all that type of shit, y'all just a bunch of house niggas in the field niggas. Because at the end of the day, y'all a bunch of niggas. That's it. Let's stop treating each other differently based on our complexions. We still niggas. They gonna shoot you like they gonna shoot me. We are still niggas, and we have to get past that petty bullshit. And let me tell you something. A dark-skinned woman being able to pull off a color wig has nothing to do with her complexion, has everything to do with her personality. A woman you may not find attractive may be able to pull some shit off just because that's who she is. We cannot continue to categorize each other like we're different groups of people based on our complexion. If you a nigga and I'm a nigga, it don't matter if you a light nigga or a dark. We still niggas, and they gonna shoot us all the same. I just want you to understand that. And the more we can crack down and get out of these little divisive ass areas, the better off we will be. So like, let's get over that. Let's get over that. Let's get out of that. You light skin, I'm dark skin. Yes. And you know what? And I think the more that we stop trying to see each other as superior, the more likely we are to come together. Like, we're still niggas. And that's the beauty of being black. The beauty of being black is that I can produce this super bright baby and I can produce this super dark baby, and they still my babies. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I think it's so funny that we're able to do that because my son is light. My son is lighter than my siblings. And my son is lighter than his father, who's lighter than me. And he's not that light. My son is super. He's not a light bright anymore. He was a really light bright. My son is like light skin. I am brown skin. I am dark skin. His dad is brown skin. My baby is light skin. And that is the beauty. Because when I have another baby, guess what? Guess what she's going to probably look like? Who knows? She could be just as light as him. But that is the beauty of being black. And we have to stop using these petty ass reasons to be divided. Stop treating people different based on their complexion. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you a nigga and they a nigga. That's it. That's all the fuck that matters. Second of all, if your preferences are rooted in some bullshit such as some type of stereotype, I can't stop saying it. That shit dumb. Please grow up. Date people based on how they treat you. Okay? Date within your race. Alright? But date people based on how they treat you. And understand that if a person is a certain type of way or they treated you a certain type of way, it probably has a lot more to do with that person than it has to do with you. But you also need to take accountability for that shit. Again, that light skin versus dark skin shit, that stuff is rooted in racism. That was a way to divide the people and conquer. If you can divide them, you can conquer. You can break that shit down to smaller sections, you can control it better. Stop doing that. Like, the darker people were out in the sun, a lot of people were in the house, more acceptable. And those type of mentality was passed down from generation to generation, which is why, oh my God, you don't sound black. Or, oh my God, really? Are you black? You're so light. Oh my God, that's your mom, that's your sister. You're not as dark as them, or they're not as dark as you. Like, stop that shit. That was just a way to divide and conquer. You are not beautiful for a black girl. You're beautiful. Period. Point blank. Okay? Light-skinned people are no more stuck up than dark-skinned people. If you have an issue with yourself and your complexion, it is guaranteed to show up in the people you date. You cannot hate yourself. You cannot hate people that look like you without hating yourself. I don't care what you say. You cannot be like, black people is just too ghetto. I do not want to be around no black people. Oh my God, y'all so ghetto. Bitch, shut up. Because you a nigga. You look just like me. Stop it. Stop all that, I would never hang out. They is just some niggas. They ghetto. They got no home training. You a nigga. You a nigga. You a nigga like me. Like, stop. Like, if you cannot be a light-skinned person saying, I don't really like light-skinned people, like light-skinned guys like that. They just not, they just too girly for me. You just too girly for me. But you got the idea that a dark-skinned man is more masculine, he's more protective. He's a, what? Where you get that from? What is that rooted in? You think he a little more aggressive, he can protect you? What is that rooted in? Where you get that from? How you conclude that a whole complexion of people are more aggressive than somebody else? Huh? Where you get that from? You know where you got that shit from? That shit is rooted in racism. Okay, that shit is fetishizing. You like that complexion, you obsessed with that, that's a fetish. You don't really love that man. You love what his skin look like. Be careful. Be mindful of the way that we are choosing the people we date. Make sure it's not superficial. Make sure that why you chose to date somebody or you like a certain type of people is not just rooted based on some type of stereotype or conditioning that you've been instilled with. Light-skinned people are not prettier than dark-skinned people. People are just ugly and pretty, and that's just how it goes. There's no one color that is cuter than the other one, okay? No complexion is more aggressive than the other. That's how poly see us. That's how they see us. Darker complexion people are more aggressive, okay? You know what I'm saying? Lighter people are not that aggressive because, they're lighter. They can't be like those other ones. Like, what? Stop it. Just stop it. I didn't come on here to make this a long episode. This really came to be super light. Let's see here. Girlies, waited a couple people. Let's see here. I was so excited to get this episode going. You guys do not have an idea how I got this episode going. Let's see here. Hold on, guys. We're going to send this out. Let's see here. Let's see here, guys. Bear with me here just a few minutes. Yeah, let's see. So, yeah. I really just wanted to talk on it because that video really struck a chord with me. Like I said, I grew up embracing my love, and embracing my complexion and things like that. And I really had a hard time trying to understand why people would sit there and say like, oh, I prefer this over that because they are meaner or they're nicer or these guys are not stuck up. People are stuck up across the board. Light skin and dark skin. That shit tied. First off, that shit childish. That shit is childish. You should not be dating somebody or only date these type of people. You're going to miss out on your blessing. You're going to miss out on your blessing only dating some type of person because of some weird ass stereotype that you think they all got. Like light skinned men are no more stuck up than dark skinned men. That's just the experience that you've had. That doesn't mean that they're all like that. And we got to stop categorizing people based on complexion. That shit corny. It's mad fucking corny. It's fucking ignorant. Most of the time it's a fetish. Like we just talked about. Date people based on how they make you feel, but date within your race. Okay? All right? We ain't going to talk about interracial dating. We'll leave that later. Date the people based on how they make you feel. If he light skinned and you only been dating dark, maybe you need to switch it up. If she light skinned, maybe you need to date a dark skin chick, date a brown skin chick, date something, but don't be allowing these ignorant, weird ass stereotypes about a complexion of people to influence who you date. Please stop that. I like dating dark skinned guys because I'm dark skinned. Does that mean that I hate light skins or I'm not attracted to them? Absolutely not. If I found a light skinned guy that was sweet and wanted to, by all means. But it said, what's the difference between interracial dating and having a skin preference? What's the difference between interracial dating and having a skin preference? There's a lot of difference. I think the difference with that is depending on, what's the difference between interracial dating and having a skin preference? There's a big difference. Some people just meet people when they click and they may not be of their race. That's different. And then, what is the purpose of a skin preference? I don't know. Wait, hold on. Before I get to that, Sade, some people date outside their race by accident. Some people purposely do it. I've dated outside my race before. I will not do it again. And I prefer to date within my race. So that's me. And having a skin preference, so I will say this. To date within my race, because I prefer black men, has nothing to do with, it's not necessarily a skin preference, if you will. I guess it's a racial preference. I don't know. I don't even know if that's racism. But no, it can't be racism. That was ignorant. That's not racism. I prefer to date within my race for preservation of it. That's why. I want to raise a black man. I want to have him by a black man. I want to continue to preserve and forward my culture. That is why I prefer to date within my race, to advance us economically and other reasons. That is why I prefer to date within my race. That is not the same as having a skin preference. Skin preference would be, even if you dated Arabics or Mexicans, I like darker or lighter complexion Arabics or Mexicans. Then I think that's like a skin preference. And the purpose of a skin preference, I don't know. I don't know why. I know why I like a certain complexion, but that has to do with myself, not necessarily because I believe the other one is inferior or not as attractive or anything like that. As if black and white people shouldn't date. You said date within your race as if black and white people shouldn't date, but then say, don't say I like light-skinned people, only dark-skinned people. Oh, I don't know, it's all the same. I said, what you said? You said date within your race as if black and white people. I said you should date within your race, yes, because I believe in the preservation of culture. I believe that if I want to advance my people, that I need to procreate with my people. How can I advance? And I'm not saying you cannot make a significant contribution to your people by dating outside your culture, but I feel like you begin to blur the lines when you do so. That's what I think about that. I prefer to date. I believe that if I want to significantly impact and truly be rooted in my people, I need to be with my people. I'll say this. I look at it as simple as this. I feel the same way about how I currently am. I do not live in the city, but a lot of the work that I do and the people that I work with are in the city, and I want to make a significant impact in my city. And it's like, well, how can you do so if you're not here on a day-to-day basis? And I'm not saying, and that's the same thing. How can I truly be for my people, working with my people, and truly rooted in it if I'm not with my people? That's what I believe about that. And then your skin, but that's not a skin preference though. That's what I'm saying. Your skin preference has to do with your complexion. And that's why I said what I prefer is probably a racial preference. Has nothing to do with your skin. It's a race. Because it's not like I'm saying I prefer dark skin or light skin men. I prefer black men. That's what I'm saying. So that's the difference between interracial dating and a skin preference. I prefer black men. I don't care what black man they are. I don't, light skin, dark skin, whatever. You can have a little something mixed in you. As long as you're a black man, I'm going to date you. Or I feel like you're eligible for me to be dated. That's the difference between that. Colorism is just as bad as racism. No, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree. No, I'm going to disagree. I don't believe colorism is as bad as racism. One, a symptom cannot be worse than a disease. And colorism is merely a symptom of racism. So no, my cough cannot, me losing my sense of smell is not worse than COVID. COVID was the disease. Loss of smell was a symptom of it or whatever. No. My loss of smell, fatigue, that was not worse than a whole thing overall that could kill me. Colorism is just is a byproduct or as a result of racism. It can never be worse than that. No, I don't think so. But that's why I said racism is absolutely a disease. It's a disease that's ravaging through America, and I don't even say America. 'Cause I've seen like people, in other places. I've seen like that. I think I saw something like about Jews and somebody else. That was an issue. Racism is absolutely a disease, an American disease. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is absolutely. And I wasn't at the time. I wasn't saying that it was I was just saying that it's colorism is a result of racism, and loss of smell is the same as colorism compared to COVID and racism. But yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's so ingrained in the culture of this country that we become so accustomed to it, we don't even think it's what it is. That's like living with a cough all the time. You don't even think that it can be a bigger issue, but it most definitely is. Colorism is a preference or bias judgment. Okay? Yeah. But racism, that is a result of racism. Because of this, we have this now. And that can never be bigger than that, because that shit that's fucking with people mortgage rates. I just saw that actually. That's fucking with people mortgage rates. What else? Shit. Mass incarceration, school to prison pipeline. The ghettos, the projects, why they even exist. Police brutality. Like, no. Racism is far bigger. Colorism is an issue. Definitely, I don't think it's to say that, oh, it's not a problem, we don't have anything. That's definitely an issue, because obviously we're having this conversation now because of the comments that were made on social media. But yeah, I should have some water. I am so thirsty. But yeah, it's definitely an issue, but I do not think that we need to be fighting colorism on the same scale as racism. Absolutely not, because that's a different beast. But I definitely don't want to get too far off topic. When you're dating people, date them for how they make you feel, how they treat you. That's the important part. And not even just dating people. Stop trying to be friend. I just saw somebody else post this. Stop befriending people based on their complexion. That shit weird. I just saw two people, one last night and one. Oh, I had to sneeze. Excuse me, guys. Whew. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Stop befriending people based on their complexions. I just saw that posted 2 different times in the last couple hours. Sorry. Whew. Shit. Stop doing that. Stop befriending people. Stop treating people differently. Thank you. It's allergies. I had allergies since like February. They come early and they leave like super late. But stop treating people weird based on their complexion. That's another thing. Some of y'all really treat light-skinned people and dark-skinned people like they different people. Like we all niggas. Like we not niggas? Like are they not niggas? Are we not black people? Like what the fuck? I think we really gotta stop. This is crazy. Stop treating people like that. Stop choosing the people you date, choosing your friends, treating your family members different. Because I like to think that if you're dating people a certain type of way and how you select people, you're more than like that area or those preferences or those type of ideas more than likely bleed into other areas of your life. If you're inconsistent in a lot of places or in certain places of your life, you're inconsistent in other places. You're disciplined in areas, you're more than likely disciplined in a couple areas. Stop treating people and choosing people, based on platonic friendships and dating and your family member based on their color. That's weird. And it's fucked up because you don't even take the opportunity to get to know people. Get to know somebody based on who they are and how they treat you, not what they look like. It's damn near go back to when we... Yeah, like, and it is. It really do. And that's how that's really kind of how the system is really functioning off of us, because we're really just divided. Like, people really are like, I don't really mess with dark-skinned girls like that. Like, I don't really mess with light-skinned chicks like that. I've seen that, and it's usually a share post that's on Facebook. I've seen that before. And it's like, all my friends, what did it say? Some to this thing, all my friends bad and light-skinned. And it's just like, you mean to tell me you're just making your friends because they're light-skinned? And to me, y'all the type of bitches that be like, you can't trust everybody. You can't trust your man. First off, bitch, if you made a genuine friend based on being a genuine friend and not based on how a motherfucker look, maybe you wouldn't have so many issues. Maybe if y'all stop having all relationships based on superficial bullshit, you'd have healthier, more genuine, long-lasting relationships. That's your problem. It be based on bullshit. You don't even pick somebody to be your friend or choose to be with somebody because they're a good person. Y'all choose based on how they look for you. Like, if y'all just out here matching motherfuckers together based on just, like, the aesthetics, I guess, then more power to you, but that shit not gonna last and it ain't healthy. Y'all motherfuckers be befriending motherfuckers that's just cute to take a picture with, and then trying to place all these heavy expectations on them, and you don't even know them. That's the part that be blowing me. Like, if you gonna choose a friend, choose somebody that's good for you, that's healthy for you, that's gonna love you, that's gonna teach you, okay? That's gonna be loyal. Don't be choosing people that just look good in pictures or because it's something to post for the gram. Like, that's lame, that's weird, and y'all really need to grow the fuck up. Like, again, that's weird. Stop choosing and treating people a certain way based on how they look, based on their complexions. That's weird. That's very weird. And let me think. I didn't want to make this episode long because I really have a headache. This light in general today has been blowing me. But what else? Let me think. I want to make sure I say everything about this because y'all this gotta stop being weird. I want to make sure I got. Let me see. I want to make sure I got everything. Let me see. And you know what? Just for clarity, because I want to make sure. I know that Kimalita posted this comment, and I want to make sure. That's the one thing about being live. When you say something, like, especially if it's something that you weren't thinking, or if it throws off your original thought, it can come out wrong and it can be completely misinterpreted. That's really like the one thing about this. But I want to make sure that I clear this up. I believe that you should date whoever makes you happy. I'm looking at this comment and it's like, I want to make sure I say it correctly because, you know, niggas be tripping. I believe you should date whoever makes you happy. Whoever makes you happy, date them. Whoever treats you right, who's ever most healthiest for you, date them. I feel that's what everybody deserves. But I do believe in dating within my race. And I'm going to call that to preserve my culture. I do not believe that I can make a significant impact, to be there for, you know, and do everything I need to do and truly live. I do not believe I can truly make the impact that I want to make without dating within my race. And I always find it funny that when I make that comment, that I'm always met with opposition by Black people, because Arabics do it, Asians do it, Jews do it. Everybody understands the significance of dating within your race to preserve it. But when a Black person say it, it's like, wow, that's racist. That don't make sense. You can date whoever you want to date. Black people are met with that opposition. It's like, I know that we have to say it because we don't have those traditions and those values. Arabics, Jews, they don't have to say it because it's already been ingrained in them. They understand the importance of it. But we have to say it because we don't have that tradition. We believe you can just date whoever you want. And I'm not saying you can't. You can absolutely date whoever you want. Date whoever your heart desires, by all means. But I believe that if I genuinely and truly want to make a long-lasting impact on my people and my culture, that I need to live it. And that's just my belief. And to do it and to live it, I need to be dating it. And that means I need to be dating a Black man. Don't matter what color he is. He needs to be a Black man. Okay? And I need to be procreating with that Black man. And create more little Black babies to influence and go out and change the world and preserve our culture. That's what I believe. So I just wanted to clear that up because, I wanted to clear that up about that. So, and what's the purpose of a skin preference? And like I said, that me feeling like that, it could be, I have a race. I prefer a certain race. Do I believe they're more superior than anybody else? No, I think we special. I have pride in being Black, but I don't think that's even racism either. Just because I prefer something over it. It's not that I'm not against them. I'm just interested in what I have and preserving it. So no, that's not racist. Making sure. So yeah, I want to make sure I got that. You guys, what do you guys think? You know, I didn't talk so long. I didn't even ask you guys what you think. I just had I got on here, I got on here and it was just like a high that went so fast because people were jumping in and giving what they wanted. What do you guys think? If I prefer to date, okay, let me say this. Let me make sure I pose the correct question. Is it racist to prefer to date within your race? Not even that, is it racist to prefer to date within your race? And it's not that you don't, and it's not to say that you think other races are ugly, or they're not attractive, or you don't like them. You just think that you just prefer to date within your race. Is that racist? Yeah. Is that racist? Is that racist? What do you guys think? Drop in my comment section. Do you think it's racist to date within your race? Personally, I think I'm posing a dumbass question. No, nah, no, I don't either. I'll be honest, it's like a moment of transparency. I always feel just like people be like, "Oh, you're racist because you prefer that." It's like, no, it's not fucking racist. I did, like, I'm like, but you know what? This is definitely a dumb question. But you know what the point is? Not only is this for me to share my thoughts, is to not only get you to think and just wonder, like, you just gotta ask. We like what's common to us. Do I like what's common to me? No, I was common to like bum ass niggas. Bum ass niggas was common to me. Niggas in the hood ain't got no money, baby, except for the drug dealers. Do I like what's common to us? I don't know. We like what's common to us. Maybe I'll go with that. Cause I don't know. You know what? I don't know. If my dad didn't take me on that trip and I wasn't, learning more about my culture, I do not know that I would solely be interested in dating black men. If my dad didn't expose me to that, didn't have those conversations, I don't know if I would be solely interested in dating black men. I think that I would be dating black men because that's what I'm used to, if that was the case. I think that if I wasn't exposed to everything, I think I'd only be dating black men because that's what I was accustomed to. Now I've dated outside my race. I will not do it again. Yeah, and I'm only dating black men because, for what? Like, why? I don't know. Let me see. So how you guys are here, do you guys prefer a certain complexion over the other one? And if so, why? I like dark skin because I'm dark skinned. Will I date a light skinned man? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I have the ideas in my head about what people say about lighter complexion people. I do. But do I allow those to influence the way that I date them? No. You don't prefer it? Okay. I've dated dark skin, light skin, no preference. Okay. I've heard the things, and you know what? And I'll be honest. Even when we were in high school and we were talking, I remember in high school, people like, that nigga acting light skin. I'm not even gonna. I'm sure I've said it before, but as long as I could remember, even when I said it, it made me cringe. It made me cringe to say, that's some light skin shit. Like, that shit makes me, I don't know why, maybe because deep down, even then, I knew that shit wasn't right. Even if I couldn't pinpoint exactly what it was, it made me cringe to say, that's some light skin shit, or she acting light skin, or he acting light skin. That shit made me cringe. I don't know. I can't never remember a time that I said that and that shit did sit. Like, it just never settles well with me. I don't know. I ain't never liked that shit. And I'm sure I was ignorant as fuck as high school saying that shit, probably. And anytime I think about I've used that word or said that, it never sat well with me. I remember my friend called my friend. She was like, she acting light skinned as fuck. And that shit cringe. It made me cringe in myself. I was like, ugh, don't say that. And I don't even think I could tell you then. Yeah, that shit just didn't say, well, I knew that shit was stupid then. No cap. That shit was dumb as fuck then. I knew it was dumb as fuck then. I don't think I had a true, deep enough understanding of why it was stupid as fuck then. I just knew that shit was stupid as fuck. Yeah. You guys have just joined. Tell me, do you have a preference? Do you prefer light skin over dark skin or dark skin over light skin? I prefer a black man. I particularly go for dark skinned men just because I'm dark skinned and I'm obsessed with my skin, so I think I have a fetish. I do have a fetish for dark skin. Ooh, so maybe I am wrong. I do have a fetish for dark skin. I have a fetish, and I don't think I have a fetish for dark skin. I have a fetish for my own skin. I love my own skin, so I typically date because I like my skin. I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe that could be harmful. But then again, maybe fetishes are wrong, but I don't think that it's harmful I don't think it's harmful because I don't exclude another group of people. It's not that I don't think light skin are attractive. It's not that I think they're less masculine. They can't provide. You said chocolate. Why? Why is it dark skinned women? I think it's always kind of funny how men date some. In my experience, most of the men date according to their mothers, even down to the body shape. I think that is so crazy. I've dated a couple guys, and they've dated women that are very similar to even height, complexion, weight of their mother. And I won't even go as far to say that they were raised by a single mother. I wonder what the correlation is there. I don't know. But yeah, do I date based on? I don't date no. I date men that are not too far from my father's height. Light skin. I have dated a lot of light skin. Not a lot. I've dated. Let me see. I'm like 3. 4. You know what? I'll say this. I particularly, you know what? Maybe that is. I stay away from light skinned men just because even if they don't look like my dad, they kind of look like my dad in some weird way, and I'm like, I just can't. But it's nothing against, like, I don't think light skinned men are anything. I don't have any stereotype where there's no, negative stereotype associated with them. They just like, I don't know. I think I always get like, he could be like my dad or something. I just get that vibe, and I'm like, no, I'm not fucking with it. I just like chocolate. I can't even tell you why. I don't discriminate though. Okay. It sounds like a fetish. Sounds like it has something to do with the skin. When you start hearing that, I don't know. It's just something about their skin. It's a fetish. But I think a lot of times when you hear it the other way around, when it's light skin over dark skin, they associate lighter skinned women to be more feminine than dark skinned women. And even though I don't agree with it, I understand why, because it's even portrayed in the media. And so it makes sense how you could believe that. But I think that's a part of becoming an adult, recognizing stupid shit, unlearning dumb shit, and bettering yourself. Stop falling for the okie doke. And date whatever woman treats you well, is most healthy for you, is happy for you, and that's a big part of that. But yeah, Pam and Gina, yeah, Dejanay and Penny Proud, yeah, you do see that in media, yeah, definitely. Dejanay, you got Pam and Gina, Dejanay and Penny. I can't think of any light skin, dark skin friends. Yeah, but definitely it is and that's exactly why I said I cannot agree with it, but I can understand it. I understand how you got to where you are, because you see it so many places. And you know what? Even when it comes to darker complexion, especially when it comes to darker complexion men, they are always portrayed more aggressive. Most rappers are dark-skinned men. Most rappers are dark-skinned men. Dark-skinned Claire getting replaced by light-skinned Claire on My Wife and Kids. When you think about the movies, the only thing I can think of right now is, what is that, Boys in the Hood? Is that Boys in the Hood with Kane? Darker-skinned guy was, is that Boys in the Hood, or am I thinking? What's the one with Lawrence Fish? That's not Boys in the Hood, is it? Y'all, help me out. What's the movie with Lawrence Fishburne, Cuba Gooding Jr.? I know I'm saying these names wrong. I can't talk. Lawrence Fishburne, whatever. Cuba Gooding Jr., Morris Chestnut. What movie is that? Because even then, I think he had a dark-skinned friend that was up to no good, if I'm not mistaken. The light-skinned guy, Cuba Gooding Jr., was going to become something. That's Boys in the Hood? I don't know why I'm not saying that is Boys in the Hood. So what's the one with Kane, Jada Pinkett? Wait, this all the same movie? Bro, am I tripping? It's the same movie? Wait, okay, so Boys in the Hood is with Cuba Gooding Jr. What the fuck is that man's name? Cuba Gooding Jr., Lawrence Fishburne, More Chestnut. Okay, so thank you. So what's the movie with Kane, Jada Pinkett? What's that movie? That's not a Menace to Society. Is that Menace to Society? Anyways, long story short, anyway, my point is dark-skinned people always I'm over here getting lost in train of thought. Even is dark-skinned people are always portrayed as more aggressive, even in movies. Dark-skinned men and dark-skinned women. Most of the rappers, dark-skinned. Jeezy, 2 Chainz. Who else is dark-skinned? All Amigos. Literally. I think the only lighter complexion one, the lighter complexion one is Quavo, and then it's Takeoff. But Offset is darker complexion. Who else is a rapper that's Lil Baby's lighter complexion? Pooh Shiesty, I think, is dark skin. Kodak Black as fuck. Bobby Shmurda, black. My thing is, dark skinned people are always portrayed more aggressive. And you know what's? Let me tell you, this was so funny. It's not funny, but it was funny. Shy vs. Everybody podcast. That movie. Okay, it was Menace to Society. This Thursday, I have another episode. That's the special thing we're doing this week. I have another episode airing this Thursday. My special guest is Rashad. He is the host of Shy vs. Everybody podcast. A week or two ago, Shad said, he was talking to a guest and he goes, I bet you was more dark-skinned niggas in jail. And I laughed. But it was funny, but that was a serious ass comment like, yo, I bet you it is more dark-skinned brothers in jail. And then he was like, Shad was like, what else he asked? And he said, when you think of an angry nigga, who you think of? What color are they? And he was like, you don't think of a light-skinned person when you think of when you say if you say a nigga mad, do you think of a light-skinned nigga or do you think of a dark-skinned nigga? Or angry nigga, you think of a dark-skinned nigga. And I was like, oh, I laughed again. Like the shit, like the way it was laid out when they were talking, it was very comical. But there was some truth behind it because even that idea does not pop up as a light-skinned person. It pops up as a dark-skinned person. And every time I think about it, I was like, damn, it probably is more dark-skinned people in jail. Oh my God, when I think of an angry nigga, I do think of a dark-skinned man. And that just goes to show how much we've been conditioned to believe darker complexion people in general are more aggressive and believe that lighter complexion people are more feminine. And we got to be careful about those stereotypes because if we don't acknowledge them in their roots, it will, like it's already done, pour into the way we date, the way we even deal with our family members, our friends. If you don't also pay attention, you could fall victim to it and not understand how you're being played. Don't let people tell you, don't let them, what they do is, I've seen white people be nicer to the lighter complexion person and then try to bring them into their circle like you one of us. And it's like, yeah, you're more acceptable, but you still a nigga. Don't let them play you like that. So you guys got to be mindful of the way you can either be played or you can play the game. And you're going to be played if you don't acknowledge the bullshit and the roots of the bullshit. And then if you decide to play the game, you can acknowledge that shit, unlearn that shit, go against that shit and continue to do so. And that way you can change the game and change the rules of the game. And that's just what that is. But yeah, my head is like pounding. These lights are like, it's not working today. But you know what? I've enjoyed you guys. I've had fun with you guys. You guys have made this such a fun episode. I usually, and I apologize, I am consistent with you guys, but I had to change today's episode because that shit was not sitting in, I couldn't feel it. I was like, well, let's talk about women in luxury. Maybe next week I'll feel luxury. But today I felt compelled and I was irritated and I was annoyed. And when it bothers me and it's sitting heavy on me, that's what my episode about to be about. I don't give a fuck if it was 5 minutes before the episode started. This was on my head. I felt more connected to this issue, and this is what I wanted to talk about. Make sure that you guys are recognizing the game that's being played, and you need to recognize it, recognize the roots of it, and go against that shit and continue to go against that shit and speak against that shit. Because when you start to, it's not enough to be like, I just feel like it's kind of ignorant and selfish to know what the fuck going on and not say nothing. Say something about that shit. Go against that shit. And make it your mission to stand for something outside of just the shit that people generally talk about. Like, it's not enough to be like, you know, I see that shit. It's not enough to just see dumb shit happening and do your part to stay out of dumb shit. No, my nigga, speak against dumb shit. You ain't gotta be there to protest. You ain't gotta do everything, but my nigga, donate to causes. You know, speak on shit, share shit. It's not enough to just acknowledge that shit and do enough to keep you good. You gotta do your part for your people and for your family. So, yeah. I didn't mean to go that far, but it's not enough. You gotta do more than just keep yourself good. Cause what good are you? What good are you? What good are you? But anyways, next week we have this Thursday at 7 p.m. I'm having another amazing episode with my special guest, Shy, who is the host of Shy vs. Everybody podcast. We are going to be talking about a lot, guys. I love arguing with Shy. So he's going to be on here. I can't wait to talk with him. And just chop it up with him. He's such a funny person. And he has a funny story I'm going to make him tell you guys because his junk is hilarious. So make sure you guys join me this Thursday at 7 p.m. back on Instagram Live. I have a special guest, Shy vs. Everybody. And then I have to go out the same way I came in, which is give you guys something I'm grateful for. That I am grateful for. Sorry about that, guys. Something random happened. I am grateful for. Today was a learning experience. That's what I'll say. I'll probably talk about this later on my page. Today was a learning experience, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for growth. Yeah. I'm grateful. I'm just grateful for growth and for today as a learning experience. Make sure you guys follow me on all social media platforms. You can find me at MissCarter_1X. Or you guys can find Let's Talk the Show on all social media platforms. You name it, we got it. Pinterest, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, obviously Instagram because you're already here. YouTube. Make sure you guys go ahead. If you ever want to rewatch a show, you can always click the link in our bio. Go over to our YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and rewatch every episode there. And I believe we are also on Twitter. But yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, so learn the game and play the game and don't be played. I think that's about it, guys. Well, yeah, this is it. So, as always, you guys, my name is Cherrell Carter. I'm the host of Let's Talk the Show, and this ain't a podcast. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye.